What's going on, guys? Today I'll be showing you guys how to build an AI ghostwriter that can write threads for you. So all you have to do for this AI ghostwriter is literally write the headline or topic that you want this thread to be about. So like how to build profitable AI tools. And this doesn't have to be the hook, by the way, okay? Just the headline of what this topic is going to be about. And all you have to do from there is provide some context or a brain dump of what you want this thread to consist of, and you click generate thread. Along with that as well, you can also add different types of CTAs to this and then place at the beginning or the end of the thread as well. Using this AI system, it generates a full thread based off the headline and the context provided, along with 5 hook variants that you can switch in and out. Along with that as well, is also able to include a thread revision section. So using AI, we can literally add whatever, we can apply whatever edits we want. So let's say I don't like the hook, can we change it to X, Y, and Z? I feel like on tweet number 4, you're a little bit too technical. Can we dumb it down a bit? Right? You can write that down in feedback. It'll hit revise thread, and then it'll automatically revise the thread for you, again, using AI. Hey guys, nonetheless, this video is going to be a breakdown of how I built this entire system. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to focus on data ingestion. So in order for this AI system to write threads for you, it has to have actual context about you, right? So what data do we need? We need all your hooks that have performed well, right? Because again, I can't write content like you, it won't give it content to learn off of. So what you need to collect are your hooks and your threads, okay? From there on, for each of them, and we can just go through this one at a time. For your hooks, we're gonna get all your hooks and we're gonna embed them. And if you don't know what embedding models are, I do this explanation every video, but what embeddings do is that it converts text into a list of numbers. So the best example I can give is I like food, I love to eat. Obviously these two mean the same things, right? But I like food, which let's say turns into this list of numbers. It's using just some AI machine learning stuff to convert this set of text into this list, okay? What's so special about these lists of numbers though is that they capture the meaning of these texts. So again, I like food, I love to eat. They mean the same thing. And because they mean the same thing, these numbers in this list will be very similar to one another. So what this allows us to do is allows us to retrieve similar chunks of text. So let's just say I had a list of embeddings. So again, these lists are called embeddings, right? Let's just say a list of embeddings. Again, these lists of numbers are embeddings, right? Let's just say I had a list of embeddings of the website text of all the Shopify e-commerce brands. And let's just say I threw in a skincare brand, right? So I get this website text, I turn it into this list of numbers. You'll find in that database of embeddings for those Shopify stores, the list of numbers that are very similar to that one will also be skincare brands. So what this allows you to do is embeddings, they allow you to grab similar chunks of text. And the reason why we need this though is so that we can provide relevant context for our prompts down the line, and you'll see that in a second. So yeah, nonetheless, our hooks and threads, what we're gonna embed all of them. So again, turn those into this list of numbers. So every single hook will become its own list of numbers. Every single thread, so the whole thread will become its one singular list of numbers. And what we're gonna do is push them all up into a vector database. All a vector database is a way to store these embeddings, just because these lists of numbers, even though this is just like a made up list, by the way. Like these embeddings are fucking long, like thousands of numbers long, okay? So you need an actual database to store all of them. So that's what they're called, vector databases. And by the way, for the vector, you're gonna have to have 2 different separate vector databases, right? One for hooks, one for threads. You do not want to put them together, okay? But yeah, that is gonna be the data ingestion side. What I found helps a lot too is having a document of your audience research, so any market research you have on your audience, and along with that, brand voice guidelines and copywriting frameworks, okay? Because again, the key for an AI to not write like generic bullshit, right, is you need to provide it relevant context and show it how to write like you, okay? Like you just need to provide it relevant context so that it understands how you write, your nuances, your sentence structure, everything. So that's why we're getting all of our hooks. That's why we're getting all of our past threads. We're getting all these guidelines. That way the AI understands exactly how you write, so it can write just like you, because that's what a ghostwriter would need, right? Let's say you're hiring a ghostwriter. What the fuck would you give a ghostwriter to write like you? Let's say, I don't know, your past posts, any market research you've done, how your brand voice, how you write your hooks, your copywriting frameworks, like all that shit, right? Like your content that hasn't performed, right? Like you would provide that to a ghostwriter, like a human ghostwriter. So why wouldn't you provide that to an AI model as well? But yeah, in terms of actually generating the thread, so again, if you look back to this, all we need is a headline and just some context on what we want this thread to be about. Because yeah, we can give it a headline, say how to build AI tools that actually people pay for. But there's a bajillion ways of how to build these AI tools. Like, how do you want that to be portrayed? And that's what this context dump will be for, okay? Nonetheless, we take in that headline and context, we're gonna embed it. So again, these embedding models, these list of numbers right here, I like foods, this list of numbers, we're gonna combine these two, right? The context dump and the headline into just one set of text. And we're gonna turn that set of text, the thread and the context, into a singular embedding, just using the same embedding model, all right? So this together will be its own unique list of numbers, okay? And why do we do that? Because again, we want to retrieve similar threads. Let's just say you have 20 threads inside your database. Are you going to dump all 20 threads inside a prompt? You're just going to be overloading the AI with just way too much context, okay? So what we want to do is find similar threads based off the topic that we want to talk about. So that's why we get the headline and context. We use it to find similar threads related to that. And then we can inject the, say, top 3 most similar threads inside the prompt. And now these threads will be very relevant, okay? So if I'm putting in some shit like how to build profitable AI tools, it's going to probably put in other threads that relate to how to make money with AI or like shit about AI tools. What it's going to do is provide similar threads, just like what we have written here, okay? But yeah, after that, and again, to retrieve these similar threads, we just pull them from the vector database of which these threads were stored in, okay? So again, what we're doing is returning the headline and context into that list of numbers. We're going to find other lists of numbers in this vector database that we've already extracted so that we can get the top 3 most similar threads as it, okay? And all we have to do is push those 3 similar threads, let's say, into the prompt along with all this other shit. So audience research, brand voice, copywriting frameworks, we throw all that plus your example threads, right? And then it's fucking easy to write a good prompt. Hey, you're an expert ghostwriter. You specialize in copying people's voice, their sentence structure, their spacing, exactly how they tweet. Like, here's the audience, here's their market research, their brand voice, their copywriting frameworks. Here are some threads that we want you to mimic off of and to sound just like. Write me a thread based off this headline and context. It's that fucking simple. I'll throw the prompt in the description as well. But literally all you have to do that, and then from there on, we append the CTA in the desired location. So one thing I forgot to put in here is that from threads, before we throw the threads into the embedding model, I'll actually throw out the CTA. So I'll actually throw out the CTA tweet. And the way you do that is most CTAs have a link, right? So all you have to do is just find the tweet where there's the link and just remove it from it. Remove it. And the reason why I do that is because if we throw it in here, because again, we're retrieving the similar threads from this vector database and throwing it into the prompt. If CTA is in there, then the AI may see that and then generate that as well when it's drafting the thread. And we don't want that because again, CTAs change all the time. So what we're doing instead is again, we're removing the CTAs from these threads. And when we're generating the thread, we're initially not having it generate a CTA at all. So again, because what it's learning off of these threads these were similar threads, right? There is going to be no CTA because we removed them. So it's not going to generate a CTA in it. But what we're going to do is we're going to append the CTA in the desired location. So if you look back here, you can just decide, like, do you want it at the end? Do you want it at the beginning? So after the first tweet, obviously. And what we're going to do is have predefined CTAs. So like each CTA I have right here, like newsletter sign up, course promotion. Again, these are just made up, by the way. Like consultation offer. I have these already pre-written where like, hey, if I want to do a CTA for my consultation offer, here it is, okay? So I have this pre-written in the back end, just in my code, right? And based off the one I select, it'll push out that one. And what we can then do is just append the CTA in the desired location. So if we say to put it at the end, we'll just put the tweet at the end of like, buy my course or whatever the fuck it is, right? From there on, what we want to do is generate 5 hook variants. Just because, again, the biggest thing with any thread or just content in general is the hooks. That's like the highest ROI thing when creating content. So what we want to do is we're then going to extract, again, just with embedding, same as embeddings, we're going to extract the 5 most similar hooks from our database based off the headline and context that we submitted. So again, we're pulling that from this. That's why we get all of our hooks and we embed them and store them in a vector database. Okay, so we can get the 5 most similar hooks down the line. And then what we do is using AI, we go, here's our thread that we generated, right? Here's again here's our guidelines. Here's some 5 other similar hooks that we've made in the past that we liked. Can you generate us 5 variants? The whole goal of this is to give the user more options to choose from so that they're not just stuck with one, okay? But yeah, from there on, we return the output. And then from after that, we do have the user feedback section. Honestly, the way I did that's just very straightforward. It's just a prompt where like a user, like again, right here, you can submit feedback down here and just hit revise thread. All we're doing is throwing the thread that we generated into the AI model with our same frameworks and saying, here's this user feedback, implement it. And we just apply the edits from there. So it's actually very straightforward to do that. It's just a little bit of secondary LLM call after that. But yeah, I didn't do anything too fancy like that with like chat conversation or anything like that. Nonetheless, for this demo, that gets the job done. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much the end of this video on how I built this AI Twitter thread generator. Thank you guys so much and hope you guys have a great day.